you know, when you um when you start to, go through like a conscious shift, um, you start to see things differently and understand things differently. You know, recently I realized that I had to, kind of like submit to uh going back to you try to get a job and try to just make a living, with the idea of just working a 9 to 5. And you know I'm a overthinker first and foremost. And um I've been feeling like I've been being pulled in opposite directions along this process. um just feeling like, damn, am I making the right decision? And then, on the other hand, it's like, I feel like I feel like I'm making the right decision, because I'm putting, you can't go wrong with putting your children, first in any situation. Um, but it's so funny. I was thinking, I was like, damn, I wonder if I'm gonna be able to turn off um the way that I started seeing the world and started understanding the world, in that different kind of way. I wonder if I'm gonna be able to turn that off. I think for real, I think like I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna just have to let it go. You know what I mean? And just live. You know what I mean? And just live and just allow things to be, what they are. My biggest thing was like, I know how I am, and I get so comfortable and so complacent, you know, in that world that I won't I won't pursue anything else. You know what I mean? Like that'll be enough for me. You know what I mean? Working a job and being able to take care of my kids and having money and of course, like a decent paying job. So it's like, but I think shit gonna be different this time around though. You know what I mean? I think it's gonna have a different feel to it. My experience, I believe, is going to be different because I had a lot of fear in having a job as well. Fear of like getting fired. And you know I think one of the things that I was dealing with that I wasn't conscious of, was the pressures of just being, a man and having a family. Because, once you have a family as a man, I don't think we don't express it enough. Like women express their shit. Women talk about parenthood and what it's like being a mom, how stressed out they be. Like it's a community of, it's a community for motherhood. But for fatherhood, it's not a real, I don't see a lot of different outlets and different, communities of men expressing themselves on the pressures of being dad or, of being a man or a provider. Um, and I think that was like one of the hard things for me. Um, that shit kicked my ass. Being a provider, and then a lot of the times I was the only provider. So for me, it created a lot of fear. Because when you having kids and shit, that's cool and all that, and they cute and everything, but as time's going on and you like it's really setting in, like, damn, I'm responsible and I gotta provide for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people, they just have kids, and sometimes I wish I was like that. Like some people, you see them, they have kids, and they kids like they kids is real carefree, and it's just like you can tell through the kid like that the parent is like a carefree person. It's not about materials. It's not about what they have and what they don't have. It's like this is a kid, and this is what it is. And I was like the opposite. I'm like the opposite of that. Like I want my kids to have everything. You know, I want them to be showered, with material love as well as, real love. But so, it was a lot of pressure. Um, and I feel like kind of optimistic this go around because I'm like, it ain't no pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen what life can be without the job, and I survived. You know what I mean? Like, of course things could be a lot worse. Of course things could have got worse. Of course, all of the of courses, but for the most part, all of the shit that drove me crazy and made me feel like I needed it right then and there, like even down to like little shit that would happen, just the uncontrollables, like that would be the end of the world for me. If that was like an off week of like, not my pay week, and something random happened and I couldn't get it done right then and there, that would drive me crazy. And so you can only imagine within a year, I had a cushion. I had somewhat of a cushion for like 3 months, maybe 4 months. But life still changed for me financially, and I realized like, yo, I'm okay without things. Like I don't need to have things, or this car, I don't have to attend to the car right away, or I don't have to attend to this right away, or you know, I'm the type, I see too many scuffs on my kids' sneakers, we gotta go get more sneakers. We gotta go. So I was like, I was on like, I was on, I don't know. I was just, I was in a weird, weird spot, with money and just with pressure and bills and being relied on 100%. It was a lot. So this time, with me breaking away from that whole lifestyle and all of that chaos, I seen that things can be okay if I can't do it, or if I can't show up in that moment or for that moment. You know what I mean? Like it's not the end of the world, and I think that's going to allow me to go into this work experience, carefree. You know what I mean? Like nobody wants to stress a lot. Life is hard enough, and then when you stressing a lot, that affects you. That affect you at work. It affect you, outside of work, and that shit can turn into like some other shit, depression and all kinds of crazy shit. So I feel optimistic, about this go around. That being one of the bigger reasons why I do feel, just slightly okay about everything, because there's no pressure. If I lost my job, if I fucking say, you know what, this ain't the one, or I've done it before. You know what I mean? Like I've never took a leap of faith once I started having kids. It put a fear in me. You know what I mean? To I didn't want to lose no job. I didn't want to have no type of mishaps. I had unrealistic expectations because, when you scared, you scared. You know what I mean? You like, damn, I hope I don't lose the gig, or I've been late, or you know what I mean? I had to call out. They might write me up. So it's like, it's a lot when you got kids. Whenever kids are involved, man, and you're responsible for that, it's tough. You know what I mean? And it's it could be scary. So, I'm kind of like, I'm feeling good about it. You know what I mean? Like I could just be myself, because I know no matter what, I'm good. And I didn't trust that before. You know what I mean? Like I thought my world was gonna come crashing down if I lost my job, or if I stepped away because of my mental health, or whatever it was I was going through, or just becoming too much. You know what I mean? But this time I feel like, you know what? I'm okay regardless. And that's a great feeling. You know what I mean? A lot of us we don't feel that way. A lot of us fathers, we don't feel that way. Because we told, you know, early on that we gotta provide, and we ain't nothing if we ain't, you know what I'm saying? We ain't shit if, you know, if we ain't bringing nothing to the table, or we just as good as, you know, what we can do or what we bring to the table. You know, I mean, it's a lot of pressure on men. It's a lot of pressure on fathers, and that's not talked about a lot. And a lot of guys, they ain't talking about it because they don't want to seem soft, or, you know, it's just not a real conversation that's being had. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of pressure on men. I know I'm not the only man uh, in the world that's dealt with that pressure or just had those thoughts like, man, I need a break. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, this job kicking my ass, or I don't even want to work here. You know what I'm saying? I want to, you know, I need some me time, or, providing, man. It could be a lot, man. It could be a lot on you. You know what I mean? Not having time for yourself and just shrugging it off like it just is what it is. A lot of us as men, that's what we do. It's like, man, it's what come with the game. You know what I mean? Happy wife, happy life. And, you know, I make my money and they take it. And I used to make jokes like that. I ain't even fucking know who the fuck was talking half the time. Like, I don't even talk like that, you know what I mean? But when you in that world and you around other motherfuckers, you feel like, you know, like that's, you a part of that, or, you know, that's just the way that you gotta talk because you a part of that world. Like, yeah, I work and they take the money, or I work and they spend my money, or I work and they, you know what I mean? Like I said, I lost myself in that shit, bro. That wasn't me. I don't even talk like that. You know what I mean? Like, no, I work and it's my motherfucking money. You know what I mean? Of course the kids get taken care of, but it was like, you know, I just fell into that whole that 9 to 5 world, you know what I mean? That hustle and bustle, that I'm a hard worker, and you know what I mean? Like, you know, start talking like them niggas and shit like that. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, but hopefully, um, you know, somebody can see this and they can be like, damn, you know, I ain't tripping. I know I feel like this too. Just being that provider and being, you know, the leader of the family, and, you know, shit, feeling weak but not knowing how to feel weak. You know what I mean? Feeling sad or confused and not knowing how to, because you can't show that. You know what I mean? But, you know, just something on my mind. You know, my little journey on my journey, me journeying back on, you know, back to the work world and shit like that. Just, you know, trying to prepare myself, honestly. But like I said, one thing that I'm happy that I can take with me is the fact that it's no pressure. You know what I mean? I could really be on some I don't give a fuck shit. Not that I'm walking there and man, fuck y'all niggas. Y'all know what it is. Da 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 da. I don't need this job. But it's just it's a real good feeling when you're not, you know, uh, you know, stressed out or feeling like, you know, if things go wrong, it's the end of the world, or how I'm gonna tell my girl, or how we gonna provide, how we gonna make it. You know what I mean? At least I was able to see this shit and look it in the face for a year, and see like, yo, I can survive, I can make it. You know what I mean? If it came down to, you know, me not having a job for longer, I could have made it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that you know, it could be familiar to me, or I understand it now, you know what I mean? And I don't gotta be scared of it. But yeah, one more thing too. Shout out to, I had to make a little moment for this. Shout out to everybody that's subscribing, man. Shout out to everybody that's looking at my videos. You know, I truly appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I truly appreciate it. You know what I mean? That's that whole being pulled in 2 different directions thing I was talking about. Because it's like, soon as I started leaning toward going back into getting a job, YouTube just started really YouTubing. So I appreciate every subscriber, man. You know, I really appreciate it. The comments, y'all make me feel great, you know what I'm saying, and just reassured in a real way. So I really appreciate, you know, the love, you know, on the platform. And yeah, you know what I mean? Hopefully I can continue to make content even when I'm working, you know what I mean? And just, you know, I want to keep this space and I want to grow it, you know what I mean, eventually. So, you know, salute to all y'all, you know, across the world, you know what I mean? A lot of love from Philly. I appreciate y'all, for real, you know what I'm saying?